Hello and welcome to New England Sports Today with myself, Samuel Reese. I am live from Lexington, Kentucky. Today is Wednesday, August 1st, 2018. A lot of news to catch up on in New England. We'll start right off with what I'm going to be discussing, talking about in today's show. First of all, some bad news for Red Sox fans as the Red Sox have placed Chris Sale on the 10-day DL with a mild left shoulder inflammation. And it really was smooth sailing for Chris Sale. In his last 6 starts, he was 5-0 in 39 innings, had a .23 ERA, 6 walks to 67 strikeouts, and the opponent's average is 154. So it just shows you how big of a loss that will be. Also, we will talk more about how the Red Sox acquiring second baseman Ian Kinsler from the Angels. Ian Kinsler, his career at Fenway Park in 42 games is a .260 average, 7 home runs, 26 RBI, and 25 runs. By the way, there was a game last night. The Boston Red Sox played the Philadelphia Phillies. Final score, Philadelphia 3, Boston 1. Hits in favor of Philadelphia 10-6. Errors also in favor of Philadelphia 1-0. So Philadelphia goes to 59-48. The Red Sox go to 75-34. Franco for the Philadelphia was 2 for 3 with 2 runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Bogarts for the Red Sox was 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI. So we'll be discussing that game. Phillies did defeat the Red Sox 3-1. Ian Kinsler in his Red Sox debut went 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Not the best debut. We'll be talking about that. Also, tomorrow's starters for the Yankees and Red Sox is CC Sabathia versus Brian Johnson. CC Sabathia, the left-handed pitcher this season, is 6-4 with a .353 ERA. His career versus Boston is 18-13 with a .412 ERA. Season is 1-3 with a .345 ERA. And in 2018, as a starter, is 1-1 with a .180 ERA. We'll be talking about that series. Remember, Yankees-Red Sox coverage does begin tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. An exciting series to look forward to. So, yes, Yankees at Red Sox, we'll definitely be discussing that. That's tomorrow, 6 Eastern Time. It's Sabathia, 6-4, .353 ERA versus Johnson, 1-3 with a .345 ERA. Also, Baltimore Orioles play the New York Yankees final. Baltimore 3, New York Yankees 6. And we'll talk about some coming and going. There's a new look AL East, really, after the trade deadline. The Tampa Bay Rays traded Archer and Ramos and added Pham. The Baltimore Orioles traded Shute and Gausman and added Villar. And the Toronto Blue Jays traded Axford. And the New York Yankees had no moves yesterday. So that we'll talk about the AL teams making moves before the deadline for sure. Also, today's trivia is Rick Middleton ranks 3rd in Bruins history with 402 goals. Who is the Bruins' all-time goals leader? Is it Johnny Busick, Phil Esposito, or is it Bobby Orr? And also we'll talk about how the Bruins are going to retire Rick Middleton's number 16 on November 29th. Big news there. He was really a Bruins legend. Rick Middleton, his career with the Bruins in 881 games, had 402 goals, 496 assists. He had a +220 rating and 102 power play goals. He's 4th all-time in Bruins scoring, by the way. Also a report that the Patriots worked out a wide receiver, Eric Decker, Monday. So we'll be talking about what that could mean. And also the Nationals, let's go to the overnight sensation. We'll be talking about that. The numbers here for the Nationals last night versus the Mets had 25 total runs, 26 hits, 12 XBH in a .520 team average. That's the most runs since Texas scored 30 in 2007. So an absolute thrashing there. So that's everything that we will be talking about in today's show. And I hope you enjoy it. So we do have quite a bit to discuss. The Red Sox have placed Chris Sale on the 10-day DL with a mild left shoulder inflammation, which is not good news for any Red Sox fans, really, and the Red Sox, because he was supposed to make a start in Game 1 of the 4-game series with the Yankees, but unfortunately, he does have left shoulder inflammation. Doesn't seem too bad. He'll probably just miss this one start, but it's still pretty bad considering that he's going to miss the biggest game that he's going to pitch in, really. for pretty much all season. So instead, it will be we will have Workman on the mound, which it's nothing like Sale. Not to take anything away from Workman, but definitely be tougher to win that first game, because with Sale, you feel like in good shape to start the series off, but he will be out, unfortunately, which is not good news. Just a 10-day DL, which hopefully that'll be it. That'll be it, and he'll be back. He said it himself. He thinks it's nothing more than a little overuse, which may be a concern for the Red Sox. Maybe they're using him a little too much. But we'll see. We'll see. But definitely not good news. Speaking of Chris Sale, in his last 6 starts, as I mentioned, he has a 5-0 record in 39 innings. Listen to this, a .23 ERA. I mean, that's unheard of. 6 walks, just 6 walks, and 67 strikeouts. And the opponent's average has been 154. I mean, Chris Sale's been incredible. So it really does show you how big of a loss that is for the Red Sox in Game 1 of this 4-game series with their biggest rival, probably the biggest rival in American sports, really. And so he's been absolutely great. So hopefully being on the DL2 won't ruin his great rhythm he's been in, because he's been phenomenal lately. I mean, a .23 ERA, that's unheard of, really. And with 6 walks, while just walking 6 people while getting 67 strikeouts in a 154 opponent's average, he's been absolutely, in my opinion, the best pitcher in the league. So it shows you it's probably the end up being a Hughes, then it's another story. But definitely a concern for us Boston sports fans. But we'll see what type of concern it will have on the team. That remains to be seen, really. Also, the Red Sox did acquire second baseman Ian Kinsler from the Angels. I talked a little bit about it on yesterday's show, but we'll talk a little bit more, because he did have his first game for the Red Sox in his debut last night, and a big pickup for the Red Sox, as they really did need a second baseman. So with the day off today, he said he really wanted to. That's why he really wanted to play in yesterday's game, because he wanted to start playing baseball. And it's good to see Kinsler in a Red Sox uniform. He didn't have the best game, but made a few good plays. He got a hit, and he also on the defensive side made a pretty good catch. So still a hit from, I forget who exactly it was on the Phillies, but not a bad start for Ian Kinsler, and definitely exciting for the Red Sox with that pickup before the trade deadline. So Ian Kinsler has a pretty good career at Fenway Park too. In 42 games, 260 average, 7 home runs, 26 RBI, 25 runs. So he's already been good at Fenway Park, even on the different teams. I guess it's the type of ballpark he likes to play in, and now that he's on the Red Sox, it fits him perfectly. So hopefully he'll start getting in a good groove with the team, and especially help them out in this Yankees series coming up, which will be a sweet series, I hope, because you always gotta love that Yankees-Red Sox rivalry. I mean, it never gets old, and especially when both of them are one of the two of the top teams in the AL. It's absolutely exciting as a good race happening in the AL East. So what an exciting series to look forward to. Also, talk about a little bit last night's game. Disappointing for the Red Sox as they lost 3-1. They gave up 10 hits, having 6 hits of their own. But it's definitely disappointing for the Red Sox, because he wanted to close out that little 2-game series with a 2-0 win in the series, heading into with confidence to the Yankee series, especially without Chris Sale on the mound. But it didn't happen like that, and they've been struggling to score. Just winning 2-1 the other night and losing 3-1 tonight, their offense hasn't been the best. Maybe they have been up against good pitchers, but still, with the bats that the Red Sox have, it's definitely unlike them for sure. So Bogart's really the best game out of anyone, going 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI, but otherwise, not a good offensive day for the Red Sox, despite a a solid performance by Drew Pomeranz, I'd say. Not bad considering how he's been so far this season. So, definitely the offense was the problem last night for the Red Sox. But we'll see how they bounce back in the series versus the Yankees. So Phillies beating the Red Sox 3-1. Phillies, by the way, in the NL East have been really good this season. I mean, if you remember in the last couple seasons, the Phillies won, if not the worst team in the league. And this season really did turn it around. So impressive by the Phillies. But the Red Sox, on the other hand, hopefully they'll bounce back in the series versus the Yankees. But we'll see. We'll see. Definitely interesting. Ian Kinsler in his Red Sox debut, by the way, as I mentioned, 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. So not the best start for Ian, but definitely all right. He got his first hit, which was a great accomplishment for him, and had some good defensive plays, which is really why we got him at second base. Although he has been pretty good hitting so far, but he needed to get used to his new team. He even had to try on a new batting helmet before his first at bat because he didn't know which one would fit him. He hadn't tried them on yet. But he still got to get used to it. He just flew in earlier that day, so good to see Kinsler in a Red Sox uniform with an all right debut. We'll see how he progresses as he gets more accustomed to the Red Sox and the season gets deeper into nearing the postseason. Really. Also, tomorrow's starters is CC Sabathia versus Brian Johnson. Sabathia has been solid, 6-4, 3.53 ERA. His career versus Boston, pretty good, I'd say, 18-13. He's been around for a while, to say the least, with a 4.12 ERA. So Sabathia, a solid pitcher for the Yankees. Not that the Yankees don't have the best starters, but they did get Happ, who also was diagnosed, by the way, with hand, foot, and mouth disease. But it looks like he's still going to make a start later in the week versus the Red Sox. Anyway, a good pitcher for the Yankees out on the mound. Brian Johnson, on the other hand, has been all right for the Red Sox. Of course, he is replacing Chris Sale. Sorry, I said Workman. It's Johnson, by the way. Workman actually replaces Sale on the roster. Johnson coming in for the start instead of Sale. Johnson definitely not like Sale, but he's been 1-3, 3.45 ERA. But as a starter, he's been 1-1 with a 1.80 ERA. So as a starter, he's been pretty good. We see him coming in as a reliever once in a while, but as a starter, pretty good. Not that much experience as a starter this season anyway, but we'll see how he does on the box. A much needed off day, I'd say, because ever since the All-Star break, I don't think they've had an off day, no. So good to see them get an off day before 5 off days, by the way, in the month of August, before they get at it with a 4-game series with the Yankees. Can't wait for that one. A lot to look forward to. Some 2 good pitchers on the mound, although it would be nice to have Sale, but we'll have to work around that. So Yankees-Red Sox coverage begins tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, so make sure you watch that. It is Sabathia versus Johnson, and that is tomorrow. Also, the Yankees did beat the Orioles 6-3, so that gap gets 1 game closer with the Red Sox losing and the Yankees winning. Of course, the Yankees, they played Kansas City in their last series and Baltimore in this series, so not a bad schedule. But they better take advantage of those games. Didn't take too much advantage of it. The gap since the All-Star break, they're 0.5 games back of what they were at the All-Star break. Could have been worse, could have been better, so all right for the Yankees. But this series is really what the Yankees – you got to think the Yankees are going to come out with everything they've got heading into this series because the Reds – every team that plays the Red Sox, it's really hard because everyone wants to be the best team in the league, you know, so especially when you're playing your biggest rival. So it won't be an easy series at all, and it will be a tough one. It will be a tough one, but a fun one for sure. Also, there's a new look AL East, as I said. After the trade deadline, there were moves made as the Rays got traded Archer and Ramos and added Pham. So the Rays may be regrouping, not the best season this year, trading away their all-star catcher to the Phillies, by the way. Anyway, maybe they're just trying to rebuild their team. Definitely looks like that way. Same as the Orioles, they traded Shoup and Gosman and added Villar. So Orioles the same way. One of the worst teams in the league. They're trying to rebuild their team. So Orioles and Rays definitely look like they're trying to rebuild. The Blue Jays traded Axford. Blue Jays had an all right season. Not too many big moves, just trading Axford away. Also, New York Yankees had no like these AL teams this season. He scored 545 goals with the Bruins, which was absolutely impressive. So another Bruins legend there. But anyway, of course, the Bruins are to retire Rick Middleton's number 16 on November 29th. No more players wearing number 16 after November 29th. That's when the Bruins are the Islanders. That's when they'll retire his number. So a big for Rick Middleton and the Bruins. A big honor for him, as what a great player he was. Speaking of his career, he was a legend. 402 goals, 496 assists, a plus 220 rating, and 102 power play goals in 881 games. He was a Bruins legend. So many games played and so many goals, even more assists, an unbelievable rating, and tons of power play goals over 100. It's just phenomenal. 4th all-time in Bruins scoring. What a legend. What a legend Rick Middleton is. Also, a report that the Patriots worked out wide receiver Eric Decker Monday, despite the Patriots not having training camp yesterday. He did work out. The coaches didn't really have an off day. They had a workout. Eric Decker was there. So could Eric Decker be going to the Patriots maybe? We'll see how that goes. But definitely interesting with Eric Decker working out with the Patriots. Also, before the show ends, I want to talk about the Nationals. They scored 25 runs against the Mets, really just destroying the Mets. What a night it was for the Nationals. It was an absolute thrashing. And you got to feel bad for the Mets, but in a way, you can't, because they're an MLB team, and you got to expect them to do better than that. But here's by the numbers, as I mentioned. Last night versus the Mets, Nationals had 25 total runs, 26 hits, 12 XBH, and 520 team average. Once again, the most runs scored since Texas scored 30 in 2007. So what a historic night that was for the Washington Nationals. Everyone on that team just had a great night on offense, to say the least. Even the pitcher going 2 for 5, I believe it was. Absolutely insane. But yeah, so that's the overnight sensation. What a sensation it was. That's all I got for you. Tonight's an off day for the Red Sox. So for all you Boston sports fans, you get an off day tonight for a change. Just take it easy, and I'm sure we'll have more news tomorrow heading into that Yankee series. Patriots training camp taking place, getting close to the Bruins, Red Sox, and Bruins Celtics. It's all exciting. Revolution play this weekend versus Orlando, so we'll have a ton to talk about, I'm sure. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time, 1:15 Eastern Time at 10:15 a.m. Pacific. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time. Have a great rest of the day. Bye. Thanks for tuning in.